what sort of stands out about this Carolina Panthers offense? I mean, obviously we know about the receivers, but just how they're able to sort of execute down and down.
Yeah. Obviously the receivers, talented group. Quarterback just, I think, got better and better over the last 2 years and really has done a great job. Very impressed with him. And, the running game. The running game has been really, really productive for them. But just overall, really good group.
What makes Chuba Hubbard sort of a running back that's tough to take down?
Yeah, I think just what you said. Tough to get on the ground. Physical, always finishing runs. That definitely jumps out when you look at him. You're like, man, this dude is a finisher, and that pops through the tape. But even in protection, the run game, I think he's done a really good job, and he gets the tough yards.
Week 1, how much is there left for you to learn about your defense? This is going to be the first full 4 quarters in action.
I think there's always, in my experience, there's always a lot to learn. Throughout the course of the season, you really figure out who you are, what you really do well, and who does what well. And I think most NFL coaches would tell you as the season progresses, you're continually learning and evaluating, but we like what we've learned to this point, just looking back at it in retrospect, from the spring till now, the guys have done a really good job. So, but always learning and evaluating these guys for sure.
A couple of big physical receivers for Carolina. What sort of challenges do they give a defense?
Yeah, I just think those guys are pretty impressive. The 50-50 balls, that's something that they definitely present a challenge there. Big physical guys after the catch, so you got to be on your P's and Q's when it comes to that, and finishing and not giving up yak because they've done a good job generating that. And the quarterback is really timely with the ball and an accurate throw.
Saunders got here late by camp standards. What's been the challenge for him to pick up what you're doing?
Just the volume of stuff, but he's done a great job with that. He's done a ton extra, with some of our defensive line coaches. They've really done a good job getting him acclimated and teaching him the system. And he has some great fundamentals and a really good background in a lot of the stuff that we do. So that's obviously what was attractive about him, coming here and excited about him. And he's proven all that to be true. He's shown up and practiced really well every day. You see that stuff showing up.
With Eric and Mason missing so much time early on, are you feeling like they're ready to get it going in week 1?
Yeah, they, even in the joint practice down in Miami, I felt like they were chomping at the bit, and they've just been really excited. And you guys, you probably gotten to see them in individual and stuff, and they're going. I mean, they're practicing their ass off. So, been fun to watch them, and they've really been locked in the meetings, and I'm excited to get them going too.
Is the attitude where you want it to be for this defense?
Yeah, it is. We got a bunch of guys who are hard-charging guys. Just the preparation is, when you walk in here every day, you gotta have the same energy. You gotta be the same guy every day. And we want them to prepare like maniacs. We want them to practice like a maniac. We want you to play like a maniac. So running the ball, get off blocks, and there's one standard here, and I think they've adapted, in a lot of ways, and they've kind of taken that as their own and run with it. The best teams are player-led, and I think we have a lot of great player leadership when it comes to that, just play style.
Do you get a sense that some of the guys that were here last year still have a bad taste in their mouth for how that looked and want to go out there and put a good showing as a group?
I don't really know about that. What I would say is I just feel like they've been really passionate about how they go about their work every day. It's just the practice style every day, and allowing us as coaches to challenge them and take them to places where they might not be able to take themselves every day. But they've been really, really good about that, and we've been grinding them in practice. So by all standards, so I'm impressed with that.
BJ and Danny making the rosters, undrafted rookies. How much of that back and forth competition between the both of them kind of help make each better?
Yeah, I think it definitely helped them. They're both competitive guys, competitive young guys. They train that way. I think before they got here, they usually get a sense of that from younger players when they walk in the building. And I mean that all the way down to special teams, and trying to do everything right all the time. And they have the right makeup. They have the right makeup, and they approach things that way. But iron sharpens iron, and I think they were competing with each other the whole way through, fighting for a spot, and they both made it. And are honestly very happy with what they've done to this point, both of those guys.
And James compared the defensive end room to kind of like building a basketball lineup. How much versatility do you have just between guys who can go inside, outside, young guys, veteran guys?
I think you're right. That's a good point, but I think throughout the front there is that in the linebacker room, you know. So, but I'm kind of used to that. That's what we always did everywhere else I was. And I said this early on when you guys were asking about just systems and football. The more you can do, the more you can do, you know. So. Just having guys that have versatility to their game gives you a chance to do different things with them and you know, getting at different structures, different groupings. So that's kind of how we built in. James really did an unbelievable job going out and getting guys and bringing guys in this building that exemplify that.
Something people always say about Liam is he's a great communicator. From your end, what makes him such a good communicator?
He's a real guy. Like, he's a hard guy not to like, you know what I mean? Like, he's very, very human, but he's really been great with being demanding of the players, and I don't ever see him as demeaning. I just think his standard is really, really high for all of them, and it's high for the coaches in here. So that's been great. But you know, knowing him over the years, he's the same guy he's always been. He's competitive as hell. You know, loves football. Loves the guys he coaches, and you know, he approaches it like that every day. You know, so which is awesome. That's part of the reason why he is a great communicator. It's very genuine. It's real.
You have any nerves going into the first regular season game as a DC?
I'm just fired up, man. I'm excited. You know, excited for these guys. I'm kind of living that world, but yeah, I'm just fired up. I'm fired up for them, for the players, and just ready to get going. You know.
With Travis Hunter having experience against Tetero and McMillan, is that something y'all have leaned on at all as a defense?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many variables in every game week. So you know, how those matchups shake out and all that. I mean, that's, you know, there's a lot to that. But yeah, we just try and rely as much on the tape, you know, the evaluation of the players and what you see, you know, and what they do, as much as we can.
Just specifically to Travis playing corner, how much growth did you see from him from when you guys got him in the offseason to, you know, getting up to week 1?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, I think he was well coached in college, but I think he's made a really big jump, a big progression from where he started at to where he is now, and you know, continuing to evolve and doing a good job. He's doing the extra, like I talk to you whenever you guys ask, trying to tell you that, you know, he's doing extra, pulling double duty. So really impressed with that, and it's all from hard work. So it's great to see.
Him working so much at receiver, can that help him at corner some, just kind of knowing route combinations, some pit techniques?
For sure. I think that happens. There's just so much carryover, you know what I mean? There's so much you learn. He's got an unbelievable receiver coach there. You know, a guy who's a great player, knows a ton of football, has been a great coach for a long time, EB, and there's no way that can't help you. You know, you're with him, you're with Ron Miles, you're with guys who are lifers in this league, and there's so much information for him every day, you know, at his fingertips from two great coaches every day, and he definitely benefits from that on both ends of the field.
Thanks, Coach.